83, and I ain't gonna read all of that. And it's getting cold out here. I can barely see. Man, that's part of the battle though. Gotta keep going. This is Psalms 83, and this is Psalms 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O YAHAWASHI. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies for lo, thy enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up the head. Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consult against thy hidden one. So what I want to do, verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. That's how they look at us. They did not want us to remember who we are as a people. Okay? So going through these particular scriptures and looking at the conditions throughout history of what's taking place on earth right now, they was always after us, man. They was always after us. And we as a people need help. And the only way we're going to get help is seek YAHAWASHI 10 times more. That's it, man. And beg for mercy, man. Because we're in a messed up condition up under these heathens, man. We're in a messed up condition as a people up under these heathens. And they just living it up, okay? So what I want to do is get that in the different translations, and I'm going to focus on, I ain't going to read that whole chapter, but I'm just going to focus on particular verses in there, right? But they all came against us when you read this chapter. And the Chinese, which is Moab, and Esau, Edom, them the main ones, okay? Them the main ones. But when you read this chapter, you find out, when you read this chapter, you find out that the Chinese had a major play in this chapter right here to cut us off from remembrance. You find out that the Chinese, which is Moab, had a major part in this. Okay, so this is Psalms 83:3. All right, this is Psalms 83:3. The New International Version. With cunning, they conspired against your people. They plot against those you cherish. And that's the way they move, man. They plot against us, right? Which YAHAWASHI cherish, man. In the UN councils, man. Okay? The New Living Translation. They devise crafty schemes against your people. They conspire against your precious one. Okay? This is the Amplified Bible. Oh, boy. This the Amplified Bible, right? They concoct crafty schemes against your people and conspire together against your hidden and precious one. That's them, man. This verse 4, right? The New International Version. Come. This Psalms 83:4, the New International Version. Come, they say, let us destroy them and as a nation so that Israel's name is remembered no more. That's how the nations look at us, okay? The New Living Translation. Come, they say, let us wipe out Israel as a nation. We will destroy the very memory of its existence. This is the Amplified Bible. They have said, come and let us wipe them out as a nation. Let the name of Israel be remembered no more. And that's it. That's why when you ask these Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans who they are as a people, they don't know. They'll just come up with a byword. They don't know because it happened to us. Okay? It happened to us as a people, man. And the Bible is accurate. So the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans don't really know who they are as a people. That's why when you ask them, they can't tell you that they Israelites. But now that it's coming out, the word is getting out, but it's only for the elect. The 2/3 of our people is not going to accept it, man. Okay? 2/3 of our own people is not going to accept it, but it's coming out, but they ain't going to accept it, man. So when you ask them, they going to look at you and say some type of byword, some nationality that was made up, okay, by the heathen that was given to them, right? So I wanted that to come out, right? So we gotta pray to YAHAWASHI and beg for mercy, right? So I carry on and let's see. Y'all bear with me for a second. Let me just get it. Let me just. Do it like this. Alright, we're going to verse 5, right? This is the King James Bible, right? It says in Psalms 83 and 5, they have consulted together with one another. They are confederates against thee. So, reading it in a different translation, this Psalms 83 and 5, with one mind they plot together. They form an alliance against you, right? The New Living Translation. Yes, this was their unanimous decision. They signed a treaty as alliance against you. This is the Amplified Bible. They have conspired together with one mind against you. They make a covenant. So they all in agreements, man. Okay? Until this day, right? To keep you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans from knowing who you are and telling you that amongst you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, telling you things contrary and don't tell you the truth that Jerusalem is your motherland, is your homeland, okay? So, this is, we jumping. See what we can get out of this. This is judging. We jumping to judging, right? Matter of fact, see how much time I got on there. Alright, we jumping to judging, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it like this because I can barely see it. Even with the flashlight, it's still bro. Let's do it like this, right? Alright, let's go to judging, right? Judges chapter 6, verse 3. I do it like that, you know. This is the King James Bible. And so it was when Israel had sown that the Mennonites, now the Mennonites go into Ishmael. And the reason why I'm reading this is because when you read in Psalms 83, the Ishmaelites was involved too. Okay? When you look into the Hagarine, the Ishmaelites was involved too, right? Concerning us as a people being cut off. So they all was in alliance, man, when you read Psalms 83, right? It's the King James Bible, right? And so it was when Israel had sown that the Mennonites came up, and Amalek and the children of the east, even they came up against them. So when in the ancient world, when we was planting crops, the Mennonites and the Amalekites, right, and other nations came up against us, man. They was all at war with us, man. They didn't even want us to plant crops. They was always trying to take us down and get our resources. And just like today, same way today, okay? They do not want to let us get up and have abundance of resources, man. They will take us down as a nation of people, man. Same way today. Okay? I'm going to read this in a different translation. This is Judges chapter 6, verse 3, the New International Version. Whenever the Israelites planted their crop, the Mennonites and the Amalekites and other eastern people invaded the country. The New Living Translation. Whenever the Israelites planted their crop, murderers from the Mennonites, murderers from Midian, Amalek, and the people of the east would attack Israel. Man, even when we was trying to plant our resources, we still would get attacked. Same way today, man. Okay? Same way today. This is the Amplified Bible. For it was whenever Israel had sown their seed that the Midianites would come up with the Amalekites and the people of the east and go up against them. Okay? That was an Amplified Bible, right? Alright, this is King James Bible, right? This is Judges chapter 6, verse 4. It says, and they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth till thou came unto Gaza and left no substance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor ass. See? They took the resources, man. Destroyed the resources, man. See? That's how they was doing us as a people. Right? When you read Psalms 83, them names are mentioned in there in Psalms 83. Right? The New International Version. In the different translations. Judges chapter 6, verse 4. The New International Version. They camped on the land and ruined the crops all the way to Gaza, and did not spare the living things for Israel, neither sheep, nor cattle, nor donkey. The New Living Translation. They campaigned in the land and, like, read it again. The New Living Translation. Camping in the land and destroyed crops as far away as Gaza. They left the Israelites with nothing to eat, taking all the sheep, goat, cattle, and donkey. That's it, man. That's how they treated us in the ancient world, right? And still doing it to this day as a nation of people, right? The Amplified Bible. So if we try to separate from these nations and have our own resources amongst Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, they will come up against us and go to war with us. Okay? The Amplified Bible. So they would camp against them and destroy the crops of the land as far as Gaza, and leave no substance in Israel, as well as no sheep, ox, or donkey. And that's why we depend on these nations for every want and all things. That's part of them curses, because the Heavenly Father and His Son know, look, if we try to do that, man, they'll come against us, man, and destroy it, man. Okay? That's part of them curses. Now, I'm jumping to, matter of fact, let me change this battery, because I don't want this battery to go dead on me. So, let me deal with that. Right? Alright, I'm back. I had to change the battery. Right? So, right? I'm back. I had to change the battery, right? So, let's see. We just left off from Judges, right? Judges chapter 6, verse 3 and 4, right? So we're going to Deuteronomy, right? Deuteronomy 25 and 18. Let's see what we get out of this. Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 18, King James Bible, right? It says, how he met thee by the way. How you doing, my friend? All right, my man, reading the scriptures. It says, Deuteronomy 25 and 18. right? This is the King James Bible, right? It says, how he met thee by the way and smote the hindermost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, he feared not YAHAWASHI. So what that is that's when Amalek attacked us, and what he did was attack the rear of us, where the weak and the children and the women were, and they attacked us as a people, and they do the same thing today. They'll go after the weak, the children, you know, the elderly. That's what they'll do still to this day. And that's what they did to us. They attacked the weak, you know, the elderly and the children and the women, okay, in the ancient world, right? This is King James Bible, right? Deuteronomy 25 and 18, right? It says, how he met thee by the way and smote the hindermost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not YAHAWASHI. And that's talking about Amalek of them Edomites, okay? The people that's in the land of Jerusalem, that's talking about them. That's what they did. And that's why the Heavenly Father got a hatred against that tribe, Amalek, the way he does, okay? He hate Esau, but then Amalek, oh man, he got it out for him, okay? He hate Esau as a whole, as a nation, but Amalek, yeah, he got it out for him. The so-called Jews over there, okay, in that land. This is the Amplified, the New International Version. When you were weary and worn out, they met you on your journey and attacked all who were lagging behind. They had no fear of YAHAWASHI. That's what Amalek did, okay? When we was coming out of Egypt, right? This is the New Living Translation. They attacked you when you were exhausted and weary. They struck down those who were staggering behind. They had no fear of YAHAWASHI, right? This is the Amplified Bible. How he met you along the road and attacked all the staggerers at your rear when you were tired and worn, and you were tired and weary, and he did not fear YAHAWASHI. Let's see. The King James Bible, right? It says, therefore, this is Deuteronomy 25 and 29. It says, therefore, it shall be when the Lord thy power hath given thee rest from all thy enemies round about in the land which thy Lord thy power giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under the heaven, thou shalt not forget. Yeah, that's what he gonna do to that tribe. Amalek, he gonna get it all Esau. But Amalek, them Amalekites, them people that's in the land of Jerusalem, right now they claim that they Jews and they Jewish, Israelis, them people now. Oh man. Heavenly Father amongst them Edomites, that tribe right there, the head tribe, Amalek. Oh man. He got it out for him. This is Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 19, the New International Version. When the Lord your God give you rest from all the enemies round you in the land he is giving you to possess an inheritance, You shall blot out the name of Amalek from under the heaven. Do not forget. That's it. The New Living Translation. Therefore, when the Lord your power has given you rest from all your enemies in the land, he is giving you a special possession. As a special possession, you must destroy the Amalekites and erase their memory from under heaven. Never forget this. Okay? This the Amplified Bible. Therefore, when the Lord your power has given you rest from all your surrounding enemies in the land which the Lord your power gives you as an inheritance to possess, you shall wipe out the memory of Amalek from under heaven. You must not forget. That's it, man. So when we get back in that land, man, set up by YAHAWASHI, Amalek, okay? The people that's running around here calling themselves Israelis and Jews, the head tribe of Esau, Edom, finish. Finish, man. Finish. Finish. So I wanted to get that out, right? So we jumping, right?